Hello, YouTube. This is Ryan, aka the Habitual Line Stepper. Hope this video has found you well. I hope you are at peace. If you're not at peace, I hope you are actively, aggressively, relentlessly pursuing your peace. I wanted to drop this video real quick um, about not wasting time, especially in your youth. It's easy to think that you have this, you always going to have, time to, start your career or, start this trade, whatever you choose to do. But when it comes to building a foundation, I like to think of it as from a financial aspect, from a career aspect, something that's going to help you basically pursue the dreams that you're looking for. Because I think what happens in your youth, you start looking at the dream only, and you don't look at reality. And reality is you need food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and those things don't come free. There's a cost for that. And I do understand that in these times it's hard to find a job, and it's just the economy's tough. Believe me, when I came out of college way back in the day, it wasn't easy either. I'm not comparing the two. I believe this is a unique time we're in. I think this is something we have not seen in a long time. And I think those kids coming out of college or out of school, high school or whatever, it's tough out there. But that even pushes my point further, is that you can't waste time. I'm not saying don't have any fun in your youth. You have fun in every facet of your life, every age of your life. However, you also have to prioritize getting things done, handling your business. Because I'm telling you, my father used to say, you can mess around and spin your wheels too long. In other words, stay in one place too long, doing nothing. And then because the world's going to keep moving. Things are still going to happen with whether or not you choose to acknowledge it or not. Those people who always want to have fun and always want to do what's easy, they don't really want to push themselves or apply themselves or really test out what gifts that they have, or at least discover what kind of gifts you have. Because I'll tell you, in your youth, you don't know what you can do. You have no idea what you can do in your youth. That's what it's for, though. It's for discovery. I'm not saying you always have to grind necessarily on a job, even though the foundation is part of that. The foundation is you have to get your stuff established monetarily, but you don't know who you are in your early 20s, mid 20s, hell, sometimes even into your 30s. It's a process, and so if you start that process early, you will be able to discover, you have more time, I should say, to discover what gifts you actually have. But you have people who waste it. They waste this time in their 20s. And we can all agree, you only have so much time. Nobody's going to live forever. We all have a time. And the messed up part about it is, you don't know when your time's going to end. We all hope that we're going to make it to old age. I look at this gray in my beard, and I look at my age, and I am thankful to be at this age, because most people are not going to make it. A lot of people are not going to make it. A lot of people did not make it. I've been able to live a good life, with a lot of lessons that I thank God I had. I prayed for the wisdom to give me the ability to learn from them lessons. But my point is, when you're youth, you don't know what your life is going to do, who you're going to meet, what you're going to go through. And you think, and some people in their youth, they think that it's playtime. Oh, I got tons of time to do that. I have tons of time to get serious. Not necessarily. Matter of fact, I'd venture to say that more likely than not, you're not going to have that time. Things tend to creep up on you like that. Next thing you know, you're in your 40s and 50s. And I'm not saying that you can't, that it's too late. I believe it's never too late. But the amount that you can reap at the end of that is different. If you start later in life to get serious and start really grinding, what you get at the end is not going to equate necessarily to what you would have had you started earlier. Make it easy on yourself, because I firmly believe that the younger you is the only one who is going to take care of the older you. It's the only one. Nobody, I don't care what they say, I don't care about your friends, I don't care about your family. No one's going to take care of you and prepare you to the level that you would do for yourself. Their intent may be good, but their execution is something totally different. Put yourself in the best possible position, do yourself a favor, and get on your business immediately. You can splice in fun. I'm not saying wait till you get older. If you can travel, you have money to travel, or experience things, or go out to a dinner or whatever, have whatever form of fun you choose to have, but don't have it at the expense of your growth, because we're all going to get older, and this life thing, it has twists and turns. I don't care how well you think you have it set up. When you're young, you don't know what's going to happen, what's going to change, how your mindset changes, how your beliefs change, how the world around you changes. I can tell you the world around me has changed so much. From the time that I was able to get to college at 17 years old, all the way up until now, how different the world is, how I had to have the ability to change with the world. I'm not saying have the world change me, but I had to learn to adapt to the circumstances around. And in order to do that, I had to build a foundation. I had to have an understanding of myself, number one, and what my limitations were, and what my strengths were. And I had to discover that early, because, like I said, the world is going to continue to change, or continue to grow as you age, whether or not you choose to accept it or not. And the better you prepare yourself early, the easier it is to adapt to that change, because you're going to either adapt or die. One of the two. I have people who I grew up with, people who are older than me, who shared their stories. You can go places now, and I'm not saying this to make anyone else, look small. But you have older people out here struggling. Now, for those who are having like disabilities and things like that, I'm not speaking about those people. Those people who've had actual, hardships that's happened to them, but also that's part of it. But for those people, I'm speaking specifically to those people who decided that they're going to just wait and just go with the wind, and life is just going to, it's just going to be this, grandiose thing, and I'm just going to float through life carefree. Okay. Don't worry about money and building up, things like that, because, just live your life. No, that's not practical. That's not practical. If you want to build a life that's carefree, get yourself together. Get yourself together. Learn who you are, number one. Test yourself by doing something that's difficult, not taking the easy path in things. If it's going to, take a trade that's hard, if it's going to college that's hard, if it's building a skill set that's hard, if it's getting a certification that's hard, if it's, developing a better network that's hard. Do the hard things. Do the things that make you uncomfortable. and get started with doing that in your youth. Because when you get older, you don't want to have to go through. You want to have build this understanding and this history of doing hard things. Because when you're older, you don't want to have to do hard things. You're going to have some hard things, but you don't want to have to do those hard things. You want to kind of be cruising when you get into your late, let's say mid to late 40s and up. You want to be kind of cruising, you know. You don't want to be, oh man, I never did this before, or I never tested myself this before. You want to be tested. You want to be proven. You want to have gotten out of your comfort zone. You want to have grown. You wanted to have built. When you're younger, that's when you do it. That's when you get those understandings. That's when you make your mistakes. That's when you try stuff and fail. And then you try again and try again. And then, you'll fail and then you'll fail. But then eventually you get the hang of it. And it's not that the thing became easier. You became wiser. You became smarter. You became tougher. You became stronger. That's what your youth is for. It's a testing ground. Try some things. You may have a major that you say you go to college, so there's a major that you want to get into. And you decided, you know what, I don't really like that major because it's not really in line with what I want to do anymore. I've changed my mind, I want to do this. Whatever it is. Relationships, with people. Find out who your people are. Find it, and the only way you're going to do that is by getting in certain places where you have a diverse group of people who you can get with. Smart people, people who build, people who are positive, people who are strong. Get yourself in situations where you interact, with various different people. Open up your scope when it comes to that. Because like I said, when you get older, you want to have been there and done that. So now when you're older, you're just applying stuff. You're applying things that you've learned. That's what you're doing. So with that being said, do your older self a favor, your future older self, the future you. Do yourself a favor and do the hard thing now. Don't waste your time. Put some fun in there. But the main focus is handling your business and doing what you need to do so when you're older you can do what you want to do. My passion is traveling. I love traveling. My goal is to go to as many foreign countries as I possibly can and visit the world, see the world, enjoy the culture, enjoy the food, enjoy the people, just everything. And I've done that. I'm already on it. I'm not waiting. I didn't wait till I, retire or anything like that. No, I'm doing that now. But when I retire, and again, that's getting out of your comfort zone. Some of these countries, I don't speak the language. Luckily for me, most of the countries I've been to, they have some, they speak some English. But, again, it's taking you out of your comfort zone. Learn different cultures, have to abide by different laws, But because I interacted with people when I was younger, a diverse group, I learned to know how to govern myself when I'm amongst people who, are from another country or in their country where I'm their guest. I have developed a skill set where, no matter where I go in the world, no matter where my feet land, I'm going to be good because I built a skill set where I'm like, I know how to navigate this world. I know how to interact with people even though we're culturally different. When it comes to finances, I built a foundation where I am comfortable enough where where if something happens or if opportunity arises, I can take advantage of it. If something happens, like an emergency, I can handle it. When I'm older and I'm ready to hang up, working, I don't have to worry about money for me to retire and live comfortably. Because I put in the work when I'm younger. I'm putting in the work now. I put the work in 20 years ago, 30 years ago. to ensure that the older Ryan does not have to worry about things. And like I said, not disparaging people. I'm kind of jumping around, but you see older people, you see middle-aged people who are struggling. And again, I'm not talking about those who have had dire circumstances or anything like that, but I'm speaking to some of that because you don't know what your life is going to turn into. You don't know what's going to happen to you. You don't know any of these things. So to prepare yourself will help you, even if something happens to you that's unfortunate. Certain things that you put in place early will help you down the road. And so, like, I go to the gym religiously. I'm at the gym. Not, for various reasons, but the number one reason is I want to be physically fit. When I'm an older man, I want to be able to walk and do all the functions that I without pain, with ease. I want to have my strength. I want to have some good amount of muscle on me. But that started prior to that, not when I got there and decided then. Like I said, it's never too late. You can always continue to work out, but that's good. But the time that I spend now doing that benefits me greater when I'm older because I've already put in the work. I've already invested in myself. So you do those things early. If you can, do them early because you will thank yourself. You can even take a hiccup in the middle of this. If you started early, you bought yourself a little bit of time in there, but a hiccup where maybe a year or two something didn't happen right. But you didn't. But you still built up this equity in yourself. Say, okay, well, I got all this behind me, so I took this unfortunate hit, be it whatever, job loss, disability, any of those things. I built up this equity for myself. Because, like I said, when you get older, I'm telling you, when you get to that middle-age part, and you realize that you have not done anything with your life other than just float through. Didn't push yourself, didn't apply yourself, hung out with people who didn't want to do anything. So you went right there with them. And now here it is, you're in your middle age and you decide I'm going to go ahead and do something. Again, you can do it. But you'd be so much further ahead had you done it earlier. You'd be so much further ahead. In whatever you do. Your youth is for building. It is for building. Number one, because it's uncertain. And you have some people say, well, if everything's uncertain, then why not have fun now? Okay. Follow that logic. Follow that logic. And then you wind up living till you're 85. Oh, have all the fun you can right now because, you don't even know what you're going to do. YOLO. There's a lot of people who thought like that. And they live to 85. But the problem is they're struggling because they thought like that. They didn't prepare themselves because they feel like they had time or, this life is, for having fun and everything like that. Okay. And then when they're older, and they can't work or they can't build anything because now your body is old and your body betrays you. The world betrays you because the world no longer sees value in you. You may see value in yourself, but the world will change as you get older. The world will see you differently as you get older. The world will value differently. And unless you have built yourself up to stay in times with that valuation, they'll leave you behind. I don't plan on getting left behind. The older I get, the more valuable I get. Period. And that's not being arrogant and cocky enough like that. I make sure that I don't allow the world to leave me behind. Because I work on myself constantly. Because I realize I'm not there yet. I'm gonna continually work on myself. Continuously. Because I realize that the world will not stop because I got tired or I'm stopped or I decided to stop. it's going to keep going. And so, like I said, do yourself a favor, because when I retire, and I'll probably always do something. Like if I live in a foreign country or something like that, I'll probably start a business there because I want to be an asset to the country. But I don't plan on stressing. I don't stress now, but I definitely am not going to be stressing when I'm older. I'm not going to be doing that. When I get older, it's going to be nothing but leisure, nothing but efficient. I'm looking for efficiency. I'm looking for what's easier because I've earned the right. I chill now to some extent. I'm still about, handling what I need to handle though. But I look back on the work that I've done. I look at where I'm at right now, and it allows me the ability to take a breather, to enjoy myself, to do those things that I love to do for me. That's what this time is. That's what I've built for this. Because the earlier Ryan hooked up this Ryan, and this Ryan is going to hook up that older Ryan when that Ryan hits retirement age, and then gets into the 70s and the 80s, and God willing the 90s. After that, I'm playing with the house's money. I probably be bungee jumping and jumping out of airplanes at 90, because at that point I'm like, listen, I'm playing with the house's money. But anyway, do yourself a favor. Do not waste your youth just having fun. Make building a priority and put some fun in there along the way. But stay focused on what you need to do. So with that being said, if you got anything from this video, please comment, like, subscribe, and share. And like I said, pursue your peace. If you're not at peace, go for it relentlessly, aggressively, and actively. Let's get it.